All right, welcome back to Pietros Maneos Finance. And in today's video, I wanted to discuss a recent news story regarding Jeff Bezos. And it's not the flight. It's not the flight to space. It's actually, he made an announcement that he donated $100 million to the CNN contributor Van Jones. And he donated $100 million to the celebrity chef I believe the gentleman's name is Jose Andres, and the reason I wanted to talk about this is not what you would see on most other channels or on the news media, which is an opinion, which is either this is a great decision because they're great people, they're going to allocate that capital wonderfully, or this is a terrible decision because they're undeserving of it, or they have enough money already, whatever the negative chatter on or critique of it is. I'm actually coming at it from a different angle. And so that's like kind of the first way that people would approach it, is their opinion on it. And oftentimes the second response would be more of kind of a 99% resentnik response. And resentnik is a term that Harold Bloom, the great professor at Yale, I think he's passed on now though, but he used that term to describe people that are in a perpetual state of resentment towards great works of art and literature. And so he was a both heroic and a reviled figure in the American Academy. And I would say that Harold Bloom is the closest thing America has had to Samuel Johnson. Another topic though. But so let's get back to this. So a lot of times people will say things like, oh, why doesn't Jeff Bezos give me $100 million? Or that's not fair, or must be nice to be Van Jones, or, just other kind of like, woe is me. I wish I had a lottery ticket for $100 million, so on and so forth. And so instead of thinking like the 99%, think like the 1%. And here's how someone with a 1% mentality would think. How do I get my 100 million? What steps do I need to take to get there? So for me personally, I have $1 million, $1,040,000 in the Maneos Compounding Machine, $1,030,000 to $1,040,000. So instead of having either a strong opinion about it or a woe is me response, emotional response to the news, my actual first action upon hearing it was to go to my compound interest calculator, because I wanted to calculate, okay, I have $1,040,000 or so. In the next 20 years, 41, by the time I get to 61, what percent return do I need to basically 100x that $1 million to get to that 100 million? So there's actually on MoneyChimp here, let me see if the camera follows me over here. Hopefully it does. I think it is. Yep. Coming back in. Perfect. So you see here, this is on the MoneyChimp calculator here. It's the present value function instead of the compound interest. So you enter 100 million, 20 years, that's the time frame, and the discount rate. The discount rate is the rate of return. So let's just guess. So let's say, okay, I think maybe I need a 15% return to get there. That would mean the present value is 6 million. Well, my account's on at 6.1 million. It's at $1 million. So I said, okay, well, that would mean I need a higher rate of return. So let's go here. 2.6. So now we're getting a little closer. Okay. So let's try 24. Okay, 1.3. So now let's go 25%. Ooh, okay. Getting closer and closer. Okay, so now knowing I don't need a 26, so let's try a 25.5 million 64. Try 25.7, and there it is. So right now my account balance is between $1,030,000 and $1,040,000. So this is at $1,031,000. So basically, if I can get a 25.6% return over the next 20 years, I will end up with $100 million. Now, my present rate of return is 30%. Okay, so I'm already doing that now. And I don't mean to act like a 30% return is no big deal, because it is, statistically highly unlikely that I will continue with a 30% return. If I do with that 30% return, it would place me in the top 1% of investors on the planet. Okay, let's actually do it. Let's go from, and to show you the power of compound interest, let's go from 25.7 to 30. That means I'd only need $526,000 right now if I compound at 30% over the next 20 years to get to 100 million. So again, you can really kind of have fun with the compound interest calculator, and it goes to show you literally the power of compounding. It's why the logo of the Maneos Compounding Machine is a compound interest formula. So yeah, I mean, 26, the great Monish Pabri, author of Dondo Investor, and one might say the heir to Charlie Munger. I think that's fair. I think he's kind of really cut himself, from that mold of a value investor. Benjamin Graham, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Monish Pabri. And so he always says, I want a 26% return. So there it is, 25.7. So it's right in that 25, 26 range. And it goes to show you that you really don't need a heck of a lot of money if you know what you're doing, meaning if you're outperforming the index over the long term, not over a year or 2 or 3 years, but over the long term, how you can take a little bit amount of money, 526,000, and turn it into 100 million over an investing lifetime. The other thing that I talk about, and I actually added this little paragraph in the upcoming letter, July's letter for the Maneos Compounding Machine. Let's say you do this. Let's take this and let's put this at 20 million. Okay. And say, okay, so let's say I can't get a 25.7 rate of return, very high. What would it take to end up with 20 million over, let's do this. Let's try 15%. So 1.2, a little bit more right there, 16%. So if I can get a 16% return, then my 1,030,000, 1,040,000 turns into 20 million in 20 years. I think most people would be very, very happy ending up at 60 years old with $20 million in a brokerage account. So there you go. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. And it's more a mentality. It's a 1% mentality of, instead of like, woe is me, or having a strong opinion about other people, thinking like, how do I do that? How do I get there? And so there it is. So there's just like the sheer math. And as I said, I'm actually working on the July letter. You can see I have about 1,000 words written, and this is kind of the paragraph that I just sort of talked about, and I kind of knew the results here. 25.7, 25.6 here in that range. And what else? So yeah, one other thing I wanted to just mention is, you guys know how I love my dividends. Actually today, one of the Chinese banks issued a dividend, Agricultural Bank of China, $644. You see foreign tax, ADR fees, 535 reinvested, 64 new shares of Agricultural Bank of China. And I always quote John Rockefeller when this happens. When he was an old man, he famously said, "The only thing that makes me happy is to see my dividends coming in." So I can empathize with that. So yeah, another thing today actually was Luke Oil, a Russian oil company. I also feel when I come in home and I see this, I feel very, it makes you feel very powerful and like the term sovereign citizen, you know, meaning I'm at the gym and profits from Russia are coming to me. Profits from China are coming to me. Profits from America, Simon Property Group, right down the street is one of their malls. So all those people are shopping, 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 and a piece of that profit is coming to me, $39 here. So it was definitely a great dividend day. And I went to the gym, trained legs, came back, had my lunch, logged in. Oh, 500 bucks, labor free, labor free. Simply owning the asset, dividend came in. So on that note, I'm going to finish up today. Thank you guys for following and liking. I'm up to 81 subscribers. A couple of videos are getting a lot of views, so really appreciate that. And I'll be seeing y'all soon. Take care. Ciao.